time ago, when the earth was green, there was more kinds of animals than you'd ever seen. They'd run around free while the earth was being born.
Silly me. I forgot to switch on the record button. But my brother Connor's supposed to tell me and remind me to do that. You didn't miss much. We just started by talking about yakking between the two of us of what we did last week, what Con got up to last week, what I got up to last week. And the most important thing in my life last week was what I'm going to show you now. Our traditions in the Clusky household in Eastbourne of Easter. Good Friday, Easter. This is what we got up to.
I could have got really told off.
In front of people.
Yeah. They were dropping something off for me, and I showed Granny
Here we
my
are.
office. She came into the headmaster's office.
Good Friday.
Have a look at my
This is
office.
the way to spend Good Friday.
Yeah.
That's Stanton Pie.
Was he bad in school?
Oh,
First time the garden furniture's been out, and my family cleaned the garden furniture, and it's not cleaned to my standard.
Oh,
my dad's favourite housemaster still works.
Give me a break.
When I started working
But
there.
I'm going to clean it all myself on Monday, aren't I, Isabel?
He
Yeah,
expelled
yeah.
me from
I'm going to do it properly.
And the only time I was in the headmaster's office, he expelled me.
This is an Easter walk. We're going all the way down there, down to the sea, and it's quite cold actually. This is our Good Friday walk with the family. First time we've been able to do it for so long. It's lovely. Do you know, it's amazing how you miss your family and you don't have them with you, and this is lovely. There's quite a few of them. Quite steep this. Quite chilly actually. Quite chilly, and we're going down there now and hoping we can get an ice cream. Hoping. Here it comes. Here it comes. Is this the biggest ice cream in the world? No. I'll tell you what, this is half the size of the one I had yesterday. And I'm on a diet. The weekends I'm off.
You watch, he'll go on about where does this come from, because I don't know where it comes from, because I'm on a diet and I eat so healthily.
I'm on a constant diet. Ice cream diet. Okay, got that in one hand and I got the camera in the other hand. Okay, I'll have to stop. Everybody, the Easter hunt, you have to turn yourself around 10 times to make yourself dizzy, and then you set off very quickly.
Okay, bye.
That 10? 10, off you go. Now, I wonder where the first one is. Is she going to be methodical, or is she just going to be like Zach? Just grabbing everything in sight.
Because there's a shovel on here.
Is there a shovel on here?
Well, I think it's a shovel.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you got 2 already?
3.
3. I had the camera on Zoom, stupidly, but there we are. We've got 3 already.
I'm very.
Now here's the map. Here's the map. The map is very, very good because Jack Clusky did it. On the map, it shows a spade.
Oh, you have to dig.
Yes. You have to dig. Oh, you have to get your hands dirty.
Oh well.
And you have to
Careful.
guess. You have to look for the telltale signs.
yeah, look for the telltale sign.
Where are the telltale signs?
Probably a pile.
Where are the
carefully.
telltale signs? Oh, now that's clever working out. That is clever working out. You have to work out where there's a disturbance.
No, colder. But no, you were not cold.
No, no
No,
clues. You've got to work it out for herself.
No, oh, yeah, oh. Is there something I can see? Can you see something? I can see something.
Aha! I see it. Oh my goodness,
Oh, you dug up an Easter egg.
that was very deep.
You found an Easter egg growing in the garden.
Growing in the garden.
Now what do we do? Just to work out. This is a good one. The next one is good.
Ah!
Aha!
I If a chorus is sung, there will be £20. A chorus?
You have to work it out for yourself.
A chorus will be sung.
If a chorus is sung, there will be £20.
I'm thinking.
What's a chorus?
Chorus is like a group of people.
No.
What?
A chorus.
Oh, it's the middle of the song, like the
Right. Yeah.
like a chorus of a song.
So you have to figure out.
I have to sing a chorus.
You have to sing
I
a
have to
chorus.
Sing a chorus.
Yes.
Think about it as you keep searching.
Well, there should be something here, apparently.
Now, there's something here. There's something here. Oh, she's getting cold, going cold. She's going cold now. Is she able to read a map? She is able to read a map. She's found it.
Blue.
Aha, you found
Okay.
it.
I wouldn't.
I think you found it.
I did.
Now, I wonder.
This one.
Carefully. Really carefully.
As my father always said, 2 hands better than 1.
Sorry.
What's it say?
If a tale is told for 1 minute, there'll be £5. I have to tell a story. Okay. Huh?
Lovely. Aha, you got them all.
Happy birthday, dear you. Happy birthday to you.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. That was a novel idea for a chorus. Novel idea. Now we have the presentation.
Happy birthday to you. Happy
Now, may I say that the speech was absolutely wonderful. The tremendous hand gestures were wonderful. Facial gestures were marvellous. Body language was superb. And we're now going to work a little bit on structure and a little bit on a message at the end and the elimination of the non-words. And you are going to be some speaker, young lady. And to get the prize, there's your certificate. And there's the prize for speaking
Thank you.
for 1 minute
Thank
without hesitation. Oh, shake hands. Oh, okay. COVID times, you know.
Oh, yeah, I forgot, sorry.
COVID times. And now, again, the prize for singing 1 chorus. And the 1 chorus was very novel. It was for Happy Birthday. So young Layla Eljishi Kloski, or Kloski Eljishi, whatever way you want to say it, but whatever way it is, it's lovely. It's young Layla. And there's your certificate. And there, it's £20 for singing 1 chorus.
Thank you very much.
And that's the easiest £25 you've earned ever in your life.
Yes. Thank you.
And now we have the incredible Easter egg rolling
Not quite
tradition
sure why
of the
that's
Kloski
in there.
family. And first to go is Layla.
Layla. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I think, check it.
The wooden thing.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm fine.
It's okay? Not broken?
Nope.
Not broken, okay. Now this is the incredible technique. Yeah, right. Because how you do it is you go like that.
Well, that wasn't very good, was it?
That wasn't very good, no, that wasn't very good.
That is definitely
It's definitely smashed to pieces.
I think mine's going to go very quickly.
Oh, that
Done.
was definitely a good
Done. Broken. So it hit me.
Oh! Ow! That definitely went.
Layla, Happy
And Layla
Easter.
says, Happy Easter!
Now this is the second second Easter day we've had because Victoria
Working all day yesterday.
was working all day yesterday, and
As you can see.
she didn't even get time and a half or double time or anything. That's I can't believe that actually. That's,
Well, I'm hoping it's wrong. But
ready, steady.
oh no.
Oh, that's a slow one. Ah! That broke.
Right, yeah,
Ready,
there
steady.
you go.
I'm gonna make mine survive.
Right. I think that's broken as well.
I think
so we
that's
both
broken.
lost.
Yeah. On this computer, and you didn't tell me to record, Con. Oh, I'll kill you! I'll kill you. But that's
It's true.
wonderful. Con, you must have rolled the Easter eggs down the stairs.
Oh, when we were much younger, yeah. in Inchicore, in Tyrconnell Park, down, boom, 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 down the stairs. But no, it didn't catch on in my family,
No,
so we
we all
never
do it.
did it.
And did my father give us £20 for singing the chorus?
No, he didn't even give us a penny.
I tell you what, when I look at that, I think people must think of throwing money all over the place. Not really. The weird thing is that Layla's father is Ali, who is gorgeous. I love him to bits. He's the best. He's honestly, quite honestly, the best father I have ever known in my life. He's wonderful. Spends a fortune on Layla. Sends her to public school. And she's over in Dubai at least 3 or 4 times a year. And amazing. And he comes over here. Wonderful man. But all of his pals, when she was growing up, when she christening and all that sort of, not christening, a naming ceremony they didn't have a christening, but they were always given £20, £50, and I felt embarrassed because, I mean, in John's day, John Darney's day, it was threepence, wasn't it, John? Threepence, nod your head. Stephen, what was it in your day? Probably about, if you got £5, that was a fortune. But honestly, with Ali's pals, everything was £20, £50. It was crazy. So I've been brought up with Layla with that thing, and I still, mind you, I still give them a pound. I still give them a pound, and they've got to guess which hand it's in. I'll show you me doing that one day. I still do it, even though one of them is 15 now. They still have to guess which hand the pound is in. Con, what's next?
Well,
Tell us all
there you
about
go. Everybody has their own idiosyncrasies. So, well, we're going to ask a question now. And have you got a good question ready, Dick? Because
wow.
whoever answers this question gets to have a little chat with us, which should be good. Should be good fun.
You've got the
Have I got
question,
the
Con.
question?
No, you've got the
Oh,
question.
am I doing the question? Oh,
Well, I'll do it, but you have to tell me what it is, please.
if you could do something really dangerous without risk,
I can
what
remember
would it
now.
be?
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
now there's the question. If you could do something really dangerous, think about that.
Dangerous.
Flying to the moon, going in a submarine, going down to 1,000 feet in a scuba diving outfit. If you could do anything like that, if you could do anything, and it's really dangerous, what would you do? What would it be without it hurting you at all? Now I'm looking at a newcomer, Chas Bell. Now always remember, anybody, if you don't want to answer, just say pass. But if you do want to answer, just unmute yourself when I call your name. Chas, would you like to? What extremely dangerous thing would you like to do if you couldn't get hurt at all? Chas, over to you.
I'd like to drive a Formula One car.
Whoa! Tell us all about it.
Well, I've been watching Formula One since about mid-60s, I would think, when I was at least 10. So I've been really into watching it every season, and the cars just seem to get faster and, well, they seem to be safer now, but they still can have almighty accidents.
That's fantastic, Chas. That's a lovely idea. A lovely idea. So listen, I'm looking at who am I looking at? I'm looking at Terry. I'm looking at Terry's fan club. Terry's fan club. Would you like to answer that question? I know it's Philip. Are you there? Oh, there he is, Terry's fan. Philip, if there was something in life that was extremely dangerous, but you knew you couldn't get hurt, what would it be? Over to you, Philip.
My head, jump out of a plane without a parachute.
So tell us, how would you survive?
I don't know. You said without risk, so that's for you to figure out.
I said, if it was still on the ground, it'd be okay.
Oh man! Thinking about it though, if you want me to say something poignant along those lines, I did actually have a very, very, very dear friend who isn't with us anymore, and he unfortunately knew his circumstances and when he was going to go. So he was a little bit laissez-faire in some ways. His heart wasn't corrupted. He still cared, but he was like, 3 seats to the wind. So he built himself a racing bike and went to Alton Park, and he rode that thing for a whole day before he got too ill to ride it. And he said, I was doing death-defying stuff that I never would have done under normal circumstances. And he said it was one of the most wonderful experiences of my life. So he was a lovely man. And his funeral, his hearse was a Triumph, and the sidecar was the hearse.
Yeah. That's fantastic, Philip. Thank you very, very much. But I've been to John. Do you remember John Dartnell, pal of ours, Con? John Dartnell. He invited me to a funeral, and it was a bikers, and they had that. It must be some company do it with the old fashioned bike with the sidecar and the coffin on the sidecar. You couldn't believe it. It was just an amazing looking affair. And then, of course, all the bikers behind on the huge bikes and all that. It was just astonishing. And that's when they played, Con, I've told you before, I always shudder when people say they'd like to play our stuff at funerals. Chas wants to say a word. Chas, I'll be with you straight immediately now. I just finished this. And they played, I believe, through a manky little transistor radio type of thing in the church. It sounded awful. Over to you, Chas.
Yeah, when my dad passed away, he was in Kent Police for 30 years. And unbeknown to us, we had the funeral in the Medway Crematorium. And we met at my niece's house in Rochester. And then he got a motorcycle escort for the funeral.
Fabulous. I'll tell you a funny thing, Chas. Yesterday, Sandy and I took a shopping to Tesco, and on the way there were two of the flashiest, huge BMW police bikes and then you've seen bright yellow, but this was fluorescent yellow. They were huge bikes coming in. And I thought, Sandy said, what's that all about? I said, well, they might be escorting somebody. And we were coming back from Tesco's. What were they doing? Standing there, hidden behind cars with a speed camera.
Did they catch you?
No. So, Con, what's next?
Oh, what's next?
I know what's next, but I want you to talk, you see, because people say Con doesn't talk enough.
I know, yeah. Well, this is another one of my favorite songs, which is Marie. And this, we recorded it actually in German as well. So it was quite popular in Germany. And
it was a huge hit in Germany, Con. It was a huge hit in Germany.
I know. And if you remember when we were in America and we went to this bit of a party and the phone rang, and it was this guy said, "Oh, it's for you." And I said, "Who knows I'm here?" So I picked up the phone and said, "Hello." He said, "Hi, this is Iving." I said, "Iving? Who's?" It's Iving Berlin, Irving Berlin, the great songwriter. And he said, "Thank you for recording my song, Marie." And I said, "Oh, you're welcome." You know, so I think you spoke to him as well, Dick, didn't you?
Did you know, Con? I worry about your memory. It was in the hotel room, and the phone rang in the hotel, and I picked up the phone, and exactly what you said. Iving here, and I said, Iving who? Ivan Berlin, and he explained to me that he rang every day his publishing company to check on his royalties for that day, and at the time we had it at number 3 in the American charts, and he said, "Thank you very, very much for giving me all of this money." Isn't that amazing? What a man! And seemingly he did that with everybody, with Gaga, with anybody who recorded one of his songs. He would make a point of getting in touch with them personally. Isn't that
Well,
lovely?
so he should. So he should.
Shall we play it,
Yeah.
Con? Shall we play it?
Yeah.
Of
Let's
course
see
we
it.
will.
Let's
Here
see it.
we go.
Marie, 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 the dove's brave. Marie, Marie, you'll soon be waiting to find your heart is aching, and tears will fall as you recall the moon in all its splendor. A kiss so very tender. The words, will you surrender to me, Marie, Marie, you'll soon be waiting to find your heart is aching, and tears will fall as you recall the moon in all its splendor. A kiss so very tender. The words, will you surrender to me, Marie,
How about that, Con? How about
Very
that? And let me go on to gallery view. There it is. Look at that.
Hooray.
And Terry's not clapping. Philip, what's going on? Terry's not clapping. Oh, Terry's just lying there. And that's terrible. That's wonderful. Thank you very much. Margaret, why are you not clapping? Margaret, and Maureen, get your hands together. No, she won't. Oh, she will. She's done it because I can see you all. I can see into your hearts. Well, that was lovely. Thank you very much, everybody, for that applause. That was terrific.
I enjoy that.
It was good.
It's very, very good.
And it just reminded me as well is that, do you know who's doing the back vocals on that?
Who was that?
You'd never believe it in a million years. It was my daughter, Louisa, who never, ever wants to get involved in the music industry. And I actually recorded her doing those, and she did them. Amazing. I was just listening to that thinking, that's blooming good. I'm going to ask her to do that more often. Yeah.
John
Okay.
Hutchison
What's
has just said those. John Hutchison enjoyed that as well. He's
are
just
you
written
looking?
up a note. Yeah, he wrote a note on the.
Oh, I can see.
It's
Yeah, yeah,
disappeared.
yeah. That sea looks lovely. That was absolutely splendid. What was that? That was Marie. That was from Marie. Yeah. And the two papers that we were talking about with the Holy City, with Evening Standard and the Evening News. I don't think the Evening News is going now, but the Evening Standard certainly is. But Con, what are we up to next? I think it's the birthdays, is it?
Well, birthdays. Do we have any birthdays?
This is over to Lynn
Is Lynn
now.
there?
Over to Lynn. Where are you, Lynn? Are
I'm
you
here,
Lynn?
and we've got a birthday.
Oh,
in
you
my
have a
house.
birthday.
It's in my household. It's Kevin.
It's Kevin's birthday.
Yes, on Tuesday.
I'm just shouting to
wonderful.
my helper because she's been in every minute, and now that the birthdays are here, she's not here. The birthdays are here, are they? Oh, it's Kevin's birthday, is it? Kevin's birthday. Oh, here she is. God. Oh, she's been actually. You wouldn't believe this, Lynn. She went up to Harrods specially. She hired a car, chauffeur-driven car, cost a fortune. Cost 17 and sixpence. That's what it cost. And she went up to Harrods, went to the food hall, and bought this cake. And you wouldn't believe it. Came home and actually handmade the candles. Handmade the candles. Wow. Got 2 pieces of stick, rubbed them together with a little bit of tinder, lit a fire in the middle of the lounge, believe it or not, bored a big hole in the carpet, and then lit these candles. So, would you please hand me the cake from Harrods, whatever you call it.
In front of the camera. You've got to you can see yourself.
Oh, there's Kevin. There's Kevin. There's Kevin. So, Kevin, this is your cake. So, Con, let's go. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
birthday to
Happy
you.
birthday to you, Kevin. Happy birthday, dear Kevin. Happy birthday to you, and many more. Give us a wave, Kevin.
So now, Kevin, what's going to happen now is, and if you get this right, you will be the first one for a year and a month or 2 months that will get this right. So what you have to do is say 1, 2, 3, and then blow. You see? Okay, that's what's going to happen. So in your own time, Kevin.
Right, 1, 2, 3.
Hut!
Too late.
I can't even see it.
Oh, it took a few seconds for the blow to get all the way down.
Well, it takes for the blow to come all the way from where you are in Essex, isn't it? Essex, it has to come all the way down and then go through all the wires and the fiber optics and Sky and everything and Zoom and everything. And here it is. And I thought, and ladies and gentlemen, I think we should give Kevin a round of applause because that is the first time that has ever happened. So a big round of applause, everybody. Yeah. This is for Kevin, and happy birthday, Kevin!
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Kevin.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Have a good one. Have a good one.
And have many more.
Yeah. So, Con, what's next? What's next? Okay,
now we have another epic, which I enjoyed doing as well. And it is a video we did of Chicago, which is another track of our swinging bachelors, not swinging in the sexual way, but swinging bachelors. And it's an album which I really enjoyed doing, and I'm sure Deck did as well. It was lots of some of our favorite songs, some of our favorite tracks.
You always say that, not swinging in the sexual way. Speak for yourself.
Oh, I see. It's all coming out now, is it?
Oh yes. So, Con, on you go. This is the fantastic Chicago.
Chicago, that toddling town. Let's hear it.
Ah, yeah. I like it. Yeah, swing it, baby. Come on. Hey, Chicago. Chicago, that toddling town.
Toddling town.
Chicago, Chicago, I'll show you around.
You love it.
Bet your bottom dollar you lose the blues in Chicago.
Chicago.
The town that Billy Sunday could not shut down. And on State Street, it's a great street. I just want to say
that
they do things that they don't do on Broadway. Hey, they have the time of their life. 'Cause I saw a man and he danced with his wife
in Chicago, Chicago, my hometown.
Hey, Chicago, Chicago, that toddling town. Chicago, Chicago, I'll show you around.
And you love it.
Bet your bottom dollar you lose the blues in Chicago.
Chicago.
The town that Billy Sunday could not shut down. And on State Street, it's a great street. I just want to say that they do things that they don't do on Broadway.
Hey,
they have the time of their life. 'Cause I saw a man and he danced with his wife in Chicago.
In Chicago,
Chicago,
my hometown.
Chicago, my hometown. Yeah! Yeah, I love it, man. Let me look. Oh, everybody's going berserk. Oh, that really went well, Con.
I know. I think we should do more of that album.
More swing stuff. Everybody, more swing stuff. Yeah. Okay. In the following weeks, we'll do that. Oh, Con.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Thank you very much, everybody. Con, tell them about the boo-boo that we did with Lynn's song.
Oh, yeah, Lynn's song. Because we meant to do it for this week, but
hold on, Lynn. Ask Lynn, when actually was it you asked us to do the fishing song for Kevin? Because I had it as the 4th of April, 4th of July.
4th of April.
Oh, it was 4th of April.
Yeah, the fishing season started this week. He went fishing on Tuesday and caught a perch, I think it was. He couldn't bring it home. At least he caught something. But the problem is now with, the pandemic and the lockdown, people are on furlough and they're all out there fishing. And the plan was he's retired and he'd go fishing when everyone's at work. But not many people are working at the moment, so you can't catch many fish. So.
That's lovely. So, Con, what are we going to do?
Well, we're going to record it and, we're going to do the video of it. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And we'll dedicate it to Kevin and his fishing. Because he's a lovely guy. So that'll be on the next show, hopefully. If we can remember the words and everything else. And Deck gets all the videos sorted out.
I'll have to learn how to do. I'll have to learn how to do that, Con, won't I?
John Leyland doesn't like that song.
What? I can't. John Leyland, wash your mouth out with soap and water. That's one of my favourite songs of all time because we used to do that with Hank Lachlan on tour when we were nobodies. We had Charmaine actually, and tell them about Hank Lachlan, Con, and the fishing song he used to call it.
Yeah, well, he was a prolific songwriter. And we had the privilege of...
He wrote Fraulein, Send Me the Pillow That You Dream On. Loads and loads of million sellers.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, he finished up living in Ireland, actually, in Sligo. And I think he probably passed away there. But a lovely, lovely guy. And we toured Ireland in a little minibus. And he always sat in the front seat. And it must have been in his contract or something because every morning he was handed through the window a bottle of bourbon whiskey, and
Old Grandad, it was called.
Old
Old
Grandad.
Grandad.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And he turned around to us and say, "Would anybody like a swig of my whiskey?" We all said, "No, thanks. Cheers." Oh, glug, glug.
And then Con, he used to slap the driver on the shoulder and say, "Now drive very carefully, son. You got the world's favorite folk singer here beside you." Do you remember that?
That's right. Yeah. And then he, when we went on stage, I think Steve Perry was on that show as
That's
well.
right. And oh God, Frank, Clodagh Rogers.
Oh, Clodagh,
Yeah.
But yeah, we were the backing band on that, and then we introduce the great man himself.
And when Con, if you remember, when we met him originally in Philip's flat, number 66 Park Lane, Philip and Dorothy lived in, our managers at the time, and we went to meet the big man, expecting the musical director and music and everything else, and he walked in, and he had one of these cowboy type of stage suits, Glenn Campbell type of thing. You know, with the arrows here, the circle arrows for pockets and all that. And I think it was a creamy suit. And he just looked at us and he said, "What do you think of my suit? I had it made specially for the tour." And of course, we were old school show business, and we never dream of wearing a stage suit outdoors, or never dream of sitting down in a stage suit. That's anathema. That you never do that because it creases the crutch and the knees and all that. And there he was sitting there in this suit, and that's all he had brought with him, Colin, wasn't it?
He didn't
even
tell
him about the guitar. Tell him about the guitar.
He didn't even bring a guitar with him. He borrowed the guitar from
Malcolm. What was his name? Malcolm. Malcolm Mitchell. Malcolm Mitchell Trio.
That's right. It was a lovely guitar, and so he literally came over with his hands in his pockets, and no music, no nothing. So we said to him, "Do you want to rehearse a song?" He said, "Everybody knows my music.
Everybody knows my tunes." My tunes. So we said, "Well, what key even?" I said, "Well, I'll just ask you for a chord, man, and you just play." And I said, "Well, how can we play if we don't know what we're playing?" He says, "Well, Chet Atkins, Chet sort of just strums away, and then Floyd kind of just joins in on the piano, Floyd Kramer, and he's naming all these giants of country music." And he said, "That's how and that's how we do it, man." And he said, and I said, "Well, how do we stop?" He said, "Well, when I lift my left leg, we stop." And that's what happened. We went on stage and he said, "Give me an F." And I'd go, "Boom," and he'd go, "Send me the pillow that you dream on." And we go all the way through to the end. And he'd lift his left leg and we go, down, bow, bow.
And we actually did a BBC recording with them.
Saturday Club.
I'd love to hear that.
Aeolian Hall. And that was the most embarrassing moment. I think I've had a few musical embarrassing moments. We all have, but that was one of the worst, because there was no way that we could explain to Philip Solomon and to Dorothy, how important music was, and it had to be exactly the same as the record and all of that. And they could see no problem. Said, "Oh, well, you played with them on the tour in Ireland." We say, "Yeah, but that was just sort of ad lib, and people love that ad lib thing that we do and we can do." So we arrived along, and he said, "It's okay. We've got a steel guitar player, as you asked." And they'd a guy called, a very famous steel guitar player, that steel guitar, called Gordon Huntley. And we walked in, and Gordon looked at everybody. Always looks at me in those situations. Everybody, for some unknown reason, I must have that aura about me. They all looked at me and said, "Where's the music?" And I looked at Hank, and he was just sipping the bourbon. So I honestly don't know how we did it, but we did it. And as Con says, I would love to hear those recordings.
Yeah, I bet they were fantastic. The other embarrassing thing was that everywhere we went, there was usually a dance band, you know, for the dancing. And we'd have to approach the drummer with the band. So, would you like to play along with us with the Hank Clock? Oh yeah, I'd love to. What songs are we doing? I said, I've no idea. And so, I said, well, he'll just turn around, ask for a key, whether it be E, F, G, or whatever, and you start playing and you join in. And how do we stop? I said, when he lifts his left leg, that's where we make up an ending and stop. And that's what we did all the way through. And it worked. It worked somehow.
And do you remember, Con, Derry? It was the first time we ever met Phil Coulter.
Oh yeah.
We were rehearsing. It was actually the concert was put on in St. Colum's Hall. God, I've got such a memory. In St. Colum's Hall, and the priest who put it on ended up as the boss of the Catholic Church in Ireland. What was his name?
Oh, I can't remember.
Cardinal, whatever his name was. I can't remember that one. But we walked in, and this young little lad, the piano on the side of the stage, young little lad said, Mr. Loughlin, sir, would you mind if I played along? I know all of your tunes, and I've studied your music since I was a very small boy. And he said, fine, son, anybody at all can join in. And he played everyone perfectly. And it was the first time we met Phil Coulter. And then the second time we met Phil Coulter was in the number 2 dressing room. What was it? Whatever dressing room it was at the Palladium. And there was a piano there. And Phil Coulter walked in. And we had got a band called the Witnesses Show Bands. Show bands were huge in Ireland, weren't they, Con?
Yeah.
Do you want to take over? Go on, because I'm talking too much again. Go on.
No.
You're too quiet. You're too quiet.
I'm enjoying listening to you. Reminiscing with all these stories.
Anyway, Philip Solomon walked in. And we'd got the Witnesses Show Band. And we'd actually got our producer, Ross Taylor, to choreograph a whole act for the Witnesses Show Band. It meant nothing, by the way. Philip spent a fortune bringing them over and everything else, and it didn't go for anything. Didn't mean a light. But anyway, the Witnesses come into the dressing room to meet Philip. Obviously, they never met him before, and then this little fella goes, "Oh, Phil, remember you from St. Colum's Hall with Hank Loughlin?" He said, "Yes." He said he looked at Philip. He said, "I write songs," and Philip said, "Play one." As quick as a flash, Phil just sat down at the piano and went, and Philip said, "Start on Monday, £20 a week, and every song that you write goes to my publishing company. Of course, you're the writer, but that's it." And that's exactly what happened with Phil Coulter.
No, it wasn't exactly what happened, because Phil, you remember Phil Coulter said to him, I'm still at college, but I finished in a couple of months' time. And then I would love to come over. Yeah. And that's what happened.
And he did.
He finished his education. Yeah.
And Philip made him, he was working from our office, and Philip, my goodness me, he worked him. He did arrangements wrote a load of arrangements for our recordings, and he also then wrote Puppet on a String. Now, Philip always reckoned that Puppet on a String was written on his time, so therefore he owned the rights according to their agreement. He owned the publishing rights, and they fell out very badly. But they got together again, and Phil, of course, had a huge career, and he launched an orchestra in Ireland called Serenity, which didn't make it over here, strange enough, but in the Irish communities all over the world, this beautiful orchestra. And we used to bump into him in odd recordings at Livingston Studios. He was always in there, Con.
Yeah, he did the tour with us. That 10-week tour.
Exactly. Tell him about that, Con.
Oh,
I'm
10
trying to
weeks.
get you talking, Con, and you won't talk.
We did a 10-week tour, which was ginormous at the time. It was 10 weeks of it was five weeks of a week in each theatre, and then 5 weeks of one-night stands. So for every night, we were in a different town, different city, and at the end of it, I was completely dazed. And I remember waking up. We finished the tour, and I remember waking up in the morning, and there was a woman in the bed beside me, and I suddenly realised I was at home.
And tell him who was on the tour with us, the Mike Leander Show Band, and who was with the Mike Leander Show Band?
Oh, a guy called Paul Raven, and who turned out to be Gary Glitter in the end, and he was he was completely. He wrote in his autobiography. He said it was the worst 10 weeks of my life was touring with the Bachelors. And what actually happened was the show, we did the first show, and the show overran by about 20 minutes. So Ross Taylor, who was producing the show, excuse me, he came backstage and said, right, we'll have to cut something down. So he turned to Paul Raven and he said, mate, you're doing 4 songs, right? You'll have to cut a song. So next night he went on and he did 3 songs with the backing band. And Ross Taylor came around again and said, we'll have to cut some more off the show. Right, you just do 2 songs. So he did 2 songs. And the same thing happened the next night. He said, I'm sorry, the show is still too long. You cut 1 song. So Paul Raven finished up singing 1 song every night, and it meant the whole effort, the whole 10 weeks was dreadful for him, because he'd only 1 song to do, and it was.
All he was doing, Con, if you think about it, we've got the footage. We've played the footage sometime. All he was doing was just playing cards.
Yeah.
He used to do all the journeys and the buses and everything else, and he'd arrive at the theatre 4 o'clock in the afternoon, sit around, and just sing 1 song, and sit around until the bus, and then off to the next venue. Yeah. But that was Paul Raven, aka Gary Glitter. He was a strange guy. Nice. He was okay. I mean, like people like Rolf Karras, no idea what people get up to in their private lives. No idea.
Exactly.
Like Con, you've no idea what I get up to in my private life.
I know, and vice versa. You've no idea.
Well, we're just fast approaching the time, Con, aren't we?
Indeed, yeah. And we've had so many requests for this next song. And it's have we got time for it, by the way? It's 6 minutes long.
I don't think we've time for it, Linda. Have we? Con? Can we squeeze it in, do you think? Linda and John Leyland. John Leyland actually helped us with all the backgrounds.
Yeah.
He sourced them, and he actually took 1 or 2 of them as well. And a great man at sourcing all the visuals for the background and everything. But I think personally that because Linda Hawkes asked us to do it in the first place, I think Linda Hawkes should actually unmute herself and introduce this, please.
Okay. So now we have the most amazing video of the Holy City.
Oh, well done, Linda. Can you come on tour with us?
Oh yeah, anytime.
Last night I lay a-sleeping, there came a dream so fair. I stood in old Jerusalem, beside the temple there. I heard the children singing, and ever as they sang, methought the voice of angels from heaven in answer rang. Methought the voice of angels from heaven in answer rang. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, lift up your gates and sing, Hosanna in the highest, Hosanna to your King. And then methought my dream was changed. The streets no longer rang. Hushed were the glad hosannas, the little children sang. The sun grew dark with mystery, the morn was cold and chill, as the shadow of a cross arose upon a lonely hill, as the shadow of a cross arose upon a lonely hill. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, hark how the angels sing, Hosanna in the highest, Hosanna to your King. And once again the scene was changed, new earth there seemed to be. I saw the holy city beside the tideless sea. The light of God was on the streets, the gates were open wide, and all who would might enter, and no one was denied. No need of moon or stars by night, or sun to shine by day. It was the new Jerusalem that would not pass away. It was the new Jerusalem that would not pass away. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, sing for thine is Lord. Hosanna in the highest, Hosanna forevermore. Hosanna in the highest, Hosanna forevermore.
I
That
think,
was
oh,
excellent.
look at that. Let me see. This is going to be the biggest applause ever in history, I think.
Oh yeah.
Stephen, applaud. You're the only one that applauded. See, that was fantastic.
Dick,
I think, yes, Dick.
Dick, I just wanted to say
Yeah,
that when
lovely.
you,
Thank you for the applause. Over to Stephen. Stephen.
sorry, I just
Go
wanted
on,
to
please.
say, when you do another album, you should include that on it.
Oh yes.
Yeah. I'll mute myself now.
No. You know the deal. Well, that was fantastic, and again, thank you very much to Linda for suggesting that and for doing the lighting. She designed all the lighting for that, which is amazing. She wrote it all in an email. She said she would, and she did it. And all I did was to copy the ideas in her script. And then John, of course. Sorry, Linda, go on.
I can't take credit for designing it. I remembered it.
Oh.
So it wasn't my design in the first place. I was just remembering it from watching it so many times and loving it so much.
Yeah, I love the way you described the pin spot going in and out. And I tried to recreate that completely, and I think I got away with it.
Because I did it when I operated the spot. I remember doing that myself. So.
Really?
Yeah.
And we were paying other people to do it, and you were doing.
Well, yeah.
You're letting the cat out of the bag now.
Yeah.
Well, that was lovely, and it took a lot of work. 74. We ended up with 74 tracks of music and voices. Con was up, and Con put his voice on about 3 weeks ago, up in Yorkshire, and we did what was called, a little bit technical, what was called comping. He did six versions of it, yeah. And Con is the sort of singer, he doesn't really need to do 6 because they're exactly the same each time, which is wonderful. But there's sometimes a little bit of magic in one line and in a word even, and I can jiggle them all about. So then got his 6 voices down to 1. There's about 16 tracks of my voice doing all the different harmonies. Usually 2 or 3 voices. If anybody's into choral singing, I think some of you are. About four tracks of each harmony, and then I put them all together. Usually about 16 of them, and then of course the bells I sourced off the internet, which is good. It's marvelous nowadays. You just put in sample of church bells, and there's 6 different church bells on there. I had a wedding bells one, but it was a bit too busy, so I didn't put that on.
Some of the nicest bells are Christchurch in Dublin. That you can get them, and they're fantastic. Actually, I put them on every Christmas, and if you click on the little thing, it plays the bells from Christchurch. Yeah. And they're lovely as well.
So, Con, what's the next thing we're doing then?
Well, the next thing we're doing, unfortunately, fortunately for us, I suppose, won't be until next month, because now everybody's lockdown is almost over.
But from tomorrow, I think nationwide, it's I think we're virtually back to normal, although we're still advised to wear the mask. And I have to correct whoever it was said earlier on about the 67% for Pfizer. No, it's 93% efficacy. In other words, no, there are all these strange numbers floating about, and don't listen to them. Only listen to the experts. Listen to the government. That's what I do. Listen to the government.
If you're out and about in Yorkshire at the moment, you better bring an umbrella, because it's snowing at the moment.
So that's brilliant, and we're going to go fishing, and this is going to be on the 2nd of May. Make a note in your diaries. We're going to go back to one a month for the foreseeable future, because the lockdown, as I say, virtually finishes tomorrow. I think for all intents and purposes, we're all virtually back, except for the masks and the distancing and all that. But there's me pontificating, and I shouldn't.
And we're hoping to do some shows later on in the year, which we shall let you know about.
Yeah.
And that's it. If everything works out and we're not on lockdown again. So we look forward to seeing you all later on in the year. Please
Just make sure that nobody wants to say anything. Oh, John, did you put your hand up, or were you just waving? Oh, say something, John. We haven't heard from you today.
Just for the record, when I typed groan in the chat comments, I was groaning at the joke that Philip had just put up ahead, not the fact you were going to sing the fishing song, which I actually love. So your chastisement of me, Deck, was because you weren't reading what was going on in the chat box.
Listen, John, I've got to do blooming everything here. I'm going like the clappers.
Well, you're the expert. It shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, but I can't do 6 things at the one time. I'm now looking at the chat. The sound's better than when you did it on Stars and Sunday. I'm blooming sure it did, John Hutchinson, because I produced it this time. Mind you, I produced the stuff on Stars and Sundays as well. Yeah, but there we are. That was another thing too. Fantastic
that's
performance.
another story.
Brilliant. That's that's a horse of a different kettle of fish, Con. But
Exactly.
listen, thank you very much, everybody. Would you like to do the end of the show, Con?
Right, the end of the show. And what we have coming up on the next one is we're going to build a mountain from a little hill. We're going to sing that. And for Kevin, let's go fishing on Saturday night. So I have to find a pond somewhere and do a bit of fishing. So looking forward to that and filming that. We should have a bit of fun with it anyway. So anyway, there you go.
I know where I can get a fishing rod, Con. And
so
you
do
know
I.
where you can get a fishing rod. So listen, it's goodbye from Eastbourne. See you on the 2nd of May. All the microphones can be open now, and you will have the replay tomorrow. So thank you very much for putting up with 2 elderly gentlemen here in Eastbourne and Elland, and see you very soon. That's from Deck in Eastbourne and
from Con in Elland in Yorkshire, where it's snowing at the moment. And anyway, stay safe, everybody. Stay safe, and God bless you all. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye. Jerusalem, Jerusalem.